My interest in artificial intelligence predates the attention I paid to crypto and extended reality. I wish I had gone deeper into AI years earlier when I was in school, but didn't cross paths with it at that time. As I see it, the three topics fit together, and I believe the recent metaverse surge endorses that inevitability. The scale of content creation and distribution occurring now requires the filters and mechanisms that augmenting ourselves with automation will require. I also don't believe autonomous intelligences are going to wait on human scales of time. The term metaverse fails not because it was overhyped, but because it's nerd speak. It lost to the term web twice now. Though we increasingly persist online, the point should be to pull down the benefits into the real world, not the opposite. Too deeply embracing the virtue of patience likely means the outcomes will be defined by those with an agenda or more amorphously by committee. The moment you understand an exponential technology is the moment you miss the opportunity. Brennan C. Meyer. There's room for these terms to mean distinct ideas, obviously, but as we push to define them into the minuscule spaces between our meaning and intention, there are factions that will colloquially refer to everything as content on the web layer, or worse, call it internet, further generalizing. Retaining clarity of meaning and data requires constant vigil. Maintaining information integrity is a critical and widely acknowledged concept in various fields, such as computer systems, business, and government. It entails ensuring that data accuracy and reliability persist through its entire life cycle, from origination to usage and disposal. Without information integrity, numerous issues may surface, including compromised decision-making, security breaches, and a breakdown in system trust. Hence, guaranteeing information integrity is a fundamental aspect of creating a robust and reliable system, which is essential for upholding stakeholders' confidence. Anthony Rogers. And here I am, flexing the clarity of my initial point, but what I mean to say is that these advances move in cycles, breathing new attention into the topics and sectors regardless of what we call them. We hope we know what we meant. The likely case is that we need to make a more elaborate push on annotations. Language expands as a result of the time invested into those efforts to better understand each other, but not always. There are those with nebulous intentions, allowing the lack of finite boundaries to widen the lane. I'm not sure we are equipped to understand at all times the intent, even if we recognize an act as intentional. You know what I'm saying? Synthetic intelligence, with clusters of capacity to specialize around functional knowledge, isn't going to abide our rules or economic systems once it's loose in the wild, unconfined and unrestrained by jurisdiction. This will happen via lab leak or nefarious means. You can count on it. Just look at what happened with Stuxnet or more recently Facebook's Llama model. Wars of the future will not be information wars as we currently understand them. They will be wars of programmatic control, of intelligence, and allocation of resources in virtual temporal spaces. AI, crypto, and the metaverse. The inseparable landscapes of war and innovation. Brendan Meyer. We can domestically waste our time regulating crypto or social networks, infiltrating the communities with misguided paranoia, but the arms race is underway. I believe this is why we have seen a strong push for verification on social networks over the last half-decade, as well as the pullback of automated functionality on them. Authentication is an essential process to verify the identity of users, particularly as online activity becomes increasingly pervasive. The challenge of managing multiple usernames and passwords for various online platforms is compounded by the overwhelming amount of online content or pervasive content bloat. To combat the rise in cybercriminal activities, such as phishing or other fraudulent activities, robust authentication measures become critical. Anthony Rogers. Security is a fallacy. There is no sustainable lock, only good monitoring. Eventually, the security of SHA-256 hashing will be cracked, and that encryption standard will be lost. Quantum computation feels inevitable, and along with it, the capacity to crack our current methods at scale. If these outcomes are predetermined, then it is important to begin thinking ahead. We should be setting up a hierarchy of protocols that assume these situations are predetermined, in preparation for the assumption that our infrastructure fails. This is not a position of negative perspective. AI is going to make brute force attacks more brutish, in the sense that there will be more of them, and they will have more firepower at their disposal. But then perhaps some things shouldn't remain a secret anyhow.